Hi friends, this is your start your week video so that you can know what you're going to be learning about this week. Um, we are going to do our brace map so that you can see what you're learning. So our story this week is How Chipmunk Got His Stripes, and it is a folk tale. You may be asking yourself, well, what's a folk tale? Well, a folk tale is a story that started out as people just telling it. It wasn't written down. And through the ages, somebody finally wrote that story down. Now, most folk tales explain why things are the way they are. And you can tell by the title of this, How Chipmunk Got Its Stripes. This folk tale is going to explain how Chipmunk got his stripes. Now, I want you to think these are fantasies. These are people using their imaginations to come up with why does Chipmunk have his stripes. So you'll really enjoy this. And most of the time, folk tales teach a lesson. And you will find out through your reading and listening to the story that Chipmunk does learn a very valuable lesson. In your phonics, you will be learning about words that have ed and ing. And we will be concentrating on what we do with words that have a sneaky E. Here's our base word, hope. Now look at hoping. Do you notice a change? Before we add endings to words that end with a sneaky E, we always drop the E and then add our ending. Down here, our word changed from hope to hoped. Now it sounds like a T, but we know it's an ED. Now I want you to notice that it may not look like that E was dropped, but it was. We dropped that E and then we added ED, because if we didn't, we would have had two E's right there, wouldn't we? So when we have words that end with E, you will be dropping that E and then adding your ending. So you will be learning more about that through the week. You will also be learning about syllables. And we've done our closed syllables. That's when we had our consonant vowel consonant break. This one is consonant vowel break. This is when the syllable is open, which means it ends with a vowel, which means that vowel can sing out and do the long vowel sound. If you look here, it's like in baby. Hear the A? Token. Now notice if we put the break after the B, it would be babby, right? And if we put the break after the K, it would be talking. That's why your syllables are so important. So your open syllables, boys and girls, your first syllable ends after a vowel, and that vowel is long. You have your target vocabulary that goes along with our story: tunnel, curled, height, direction, toward, healed, brag, and tease. Those words you'll be learning more about, and they will be found in your story. You're also going to do this vocabulary strategy for synonyms. Synonyms are words that mean the same or close to the same, like mad and angry, glad and happy, sad and gloomy, scared and afraid. Those words are synonyms. Your target skill for comprehension, and I want you to remember that comprehension is extremely important, because comprehension means you're understanding what you're reading, and that's the whole point of reading, isn't it? And your target skill this week is understanding characters. Now I'm going to make this big. I want you to look, sorry. I want you to look at this character traits poster. And I want you to understand that when we talk about character traits, we can talk about the outside of a character: black hair, short, pink dress. But there's the important character traits are on the inside too: thoughtful, kind, shy. Those kinds of traits we discover by how that character acts in our story and the things that the character says. So, we will be talking about character traits this week, and our characters this week will be animals that are acting like humans. So, we will be concentrating on what kind of characters those animals are. And remember, you can describe Chipmunk, one character trait, just right now I can see he's little, he's brown, he has stripes. But right now I can't describe his traits because I haven't read the story yet. I could only describe his outsides. Okay. And the last skill is our grammar skill, and that's verbs for the present. Verbs for present usually end with S or ES. Now, if you have a one person, place, or thing that is your subject, like the bear sleeps, I want you to notice that they add the S. But if you have a plural verb, a plural noun like two bears, we don't say two bears sleeps. That would be too many S's. We do not put the S at the end of that verb. So that's something too that you will be learning about this week. So when we have one subject, we put an S on our verb. When we have more than one subject, we do not put the S on our verbs to tell that it is happening now. So those are your skills for how Chipmunk got his stripes. Now in math, you will be still working in module 3, and you will be doing 10, 11, and 12. 10 is how many $10 bills can we change for $1,000 bills? And I've made a little video that you will count with me and find that out. This number 11 lesson is I can count the total value of ones, tens, and hundreds with place value drawings. And I gave you samples. We have used discs, hundreds discs, 10 discs, ones discs. This says 342. This also says 342s, but these are the blocks, the 100 squares, the 10 sticks, and the one little tiny blocks, okay? But on your homework, you will be using letters. These are hundreds, these are tens, these are ones. All three of these examples are the same number, 342, just different ways of showing that you understand place value. And then I can change 10 ones for 110, 10 tens for 100, and 10 hundreds for 1,000. Now, if we were counting up from 348 to 1,000, we would know, if you look, learners, you know that's not one of our friendly numbers. That's not one of our benchmark numbers because it doesn't end with a 0, does it? You would need 2 ones to make a 10. And if I gave you 2 ones, you would now have 350. So now you know that you can count by tens. If you have 5 tens at 50, how many tens would you need to make 100? You need 5 tens to make 100. So now you have 400. So now it's an easy jump from 400 to 1,000. How many hundreds would you need to add? You would need 6 hundreds to make 1,000. So you are just counting up like we've always done. When you do not have a benchmark number, you know you start at ones, and then your tens, and then your hundreds. So that is your math. Those are all of your focus skills and strategies for the week. Please pace yourself, and happy studying. If you have any questions, have someone reach out to me.